Hi, this is Rainbow Harmony, here to help you find balance and peace to live a more colorful life. And welcome back to my channel. Today we are continuing my spiritual awakening series, and the topic of today is how to get out of your dark night of the soul, okay? But first I just want to say that if you hear some meowing, there's this cat that's like kind of in the distance that's like following my husband around and like rolling on the ground. You might have seen him in my intro. He's super cute. We didn't like touch him or anything, but he's following us. Animals tend to flock to us, so if you hear a lot of meowing, and if I seem a little distracted, that might be why, but I'm gonna try to focus in on this here. So also, disclaimer, there is no way to spiritually bypass your dark night of the soul. It is going to last as long as it needs to last. There's the cat. Anyways, like I was saying, there's no way to spiritually bypass your dark night of the soul. It is going to last as long as it needs to last. Personally, mine lasted a couple years, and that seems to be pretty normal. From a lot of the clients I've talked to, a lot of people who I've like read up on who've been through spiritual awakening. So if you've been going through this for a couple months, don't freak out about it. And also, I'm gonna put some cards up here so that you guys can watch episode 1 and episode 2 so you can understand what is spiritual awakening and also what is dark night of the soul, because I'm going to be referencing that throughout this video and it will help you to have some context. So, how to get out of the dark night of the soul, or basically what comes next, like what's the natural progression, what do you feel inclined to do as you move out of the dark night of the soul. And maybe some of you guys can try to consciously do these things, but I find it's just a very natural process. So first, the dark night of the soul leads you and causes you ultimately to realign your perspective to where you want it to be. So my first tip for you is to basically do the work. If you are realizing that your perspective towards life, how you're acting towards life, and the choices and decisions that you're making are not in alignment with you, then that needs to change. And that's basically what the dark night of the soul is. It's like this wake up where you realize that you're not making the choices that are in alignment with you. What you want ultimately shifts, or you become aware that you do create your reality, that you're the one who's like in control of your life. And so naturally you'll want to change those things. And so what I mean by saying do the work is that yes, you are gonna have to make some tough decisions. There might be certain habits or decisions or situations that you've been in for a really long time, and it can be a little uncomfortable and really hard work to realize, oh my gosh, this needs to change. In my situation, when I was going through my dark night of the soul, I realized that the job that I had worked towards for like 10 years ultimately wasn't what I really wanted to do. I had worked really, really hard to get into the fashion industry and be a fashion stylist, which was amazing. But I realized this isn't what I want to do. I don't want to work for other people. I don't want to run around this crazy city. I was living in LA at the time, gathering a bunch of clothes, working for people that I don't really like, or there were some amazing people and it was fun, I'll have to say. But I realized I actually have a bigger goal with my fashion. I actually have something else I want to do in the industry, and this is not where it ends for me. I also had like a day job at the time that I was like, this is not helping. Yes, I need to get money and I need to keep a roof over my head and food on my table, but I don't need to take this horrible, like back-breaking slavery type of job in order to be secure. And so it wasn't a situation where I just quit and was like, oh, never mind. Like, I had to slowly start changing my habits and my choices, and I had to start working towards a bigger vision. I had to create that bigger vision. Also, as an example from my life, because that's all I got here. I also was realizing that I had a lot of toxic thoughts, like that I had certain limiting beliefs, like, oh, since I came from poverty, then that's all that I'm ever gonna have, or this is only as far as I can go in life, or it's not possible for me to live the life that I want. I made a vision board for my life during my dark night of the soul and as I was going through awakening, and I realized that my entire vision board was full of travel. I mean, everybody wants to travel, but I had realized this is a huge goal for me, and right now, at that point, I was not living my life with that goal in mind. Like, I was not making that a priority. I wasn't thinking it was possible. I thought maybe sometime in the future when I'm rich or whatever, like I just didn't realize that I wanted that, and I kept telling myself it's not possible. So as I went through my spiritual awakening, I realized, oh my gosh, like I can actually manifest this. I create my own reality. I can lift my perception to one of living in infinite abundance. I can create that reality. It's not a delusional thing where like, oh, if you just feel it, think it, and believe it, you'll receive it. No, you gotta act on it. And so that's what I mean by saying do the work. Realign your perspective with where you want to be. And yes, a lot of this might be material, but there could also be some emotional goals you have. Like you might realize, I want to be a more caring, kind, and loving person. I want to attract a soulmate or manifest love and a good group of friends. Well, you're going to have to take action and align yourself and align your energy with that goal. And so that's what I mean by realigning your perspective to where you want it to be and doing the work. And that's going to look different for everybody. So next, getting out of your dark night of the soul, naturally you're going to be called, and we talked about this in the last video, naturally you're going to be called to let go of what no longer serves you. And this includes the people, the places, the habits, the situations that no longer serve you. As part of my dark night of the soul, I realized that I had to get out of the party scene. When I was in my early 20s, I partied. I mean, I think a lot of us do. Not making excuses here, but I partied, okay? But all those late nights, substances, the types of people that you meet in places like that, I just realized this isn't gonna serve me long term. It was fun when I was young, but I'm getting a little older now, and this is just, it's starting to age me, and it's just not working for me. I can't realistically expect to manifest my goals and dreams if I'm wasting a bunch of money and a bunch of time and staying out really late and hanging out with people who are just a little sketchy or just not on the same vibe as me. And so that was something I personally had to let go of. I also realized during my spiritual awakening and my dark night of the soul that I had an addiction to gossip and drama. Like, I just did. And so I realized, okay, I need to stop gossiping. I need to stop talking crap about people. I need to take these things that are bothering me about others to my journal and to my therapist, and also realize that a lot of the judgments that I have about people are just projections of like the insecurities and fears that I have about myself. So I had to flip it back to me and realize, you know, why am I so addicted to chaos? Why am I so addicted to drama? Where does that come from? Where is the root in that? And it turns out, TMI, but like the way I was raised, there was a lot of that energy going on around me. And so that's what felt normal. And that's what I was surrounded by. And it was just a bad habit I needed to break. I also was called to look at my eating habits and my relationship with food, and to focus more on health and fueling my body. Like we talked about in the last video with Dark Night of the Soul, a lot of maybe your body starts to reject certain foods and wants more high vibrational foods and more whole foods. And so that was something I had to let go of. So that's something that your dark night of the soul will start to bring out to you. That's why it's so uncomfortable, because all of a sudden, like these choices you've been making, your comfort zone, the way you've been living your life, a lot of that starts to not really be in alignment anymore. So the natural thing is to let go of the things that don't feel in alignment and start seeking out what does feel in alignment. So This kind of goes along with the next point, how to get out of dark night of the soul, what comes next. Develop a new routine. You will probably naturally be called to develop a new routine. And so that's why you see so many people who are going through spiritual awakening or getting woke or whatever, all of a sudden getting really into like meditation and tarot and prayer and like being in nature and spiritual stuff. And it can come across as like really cheesy and disingenuous. And for some people it totally is. They're just like following a fad. But like authentically, those of you guys who are seriously going through spiritual awakening will probably be called to have a new routine. You might find that it's a huge priority of yours to get out into nature, to slow down and breathe and be with your body, to eat healthier, maybe to wake up earlier, to be more purposeful and intentional with how you're spending your time and how you're directing your focus. So this is something that can help you get out of your dark night of the soul, and it's something you'll probably naturally be called to do as you move out of it. The next thing, how to get out of dark night of the soul, find your people. So you've been through a lot of changes going through your dark night of the soul. Maybe you've lost some people as a result. In life, you tend to sometimes just naturally drift away from people. Sometimes you realize as part of dark night of the soul that some of your friends or people you were around were toxic or were bad for you. You let go of your party friends like I did, or you realize that maybe some people are toxic. And so, you know, we talked about solitude and how you end up spending a lot of time alone during dark night of the soul. And so the next thing is to find your people, to find your soul family. And these are people that will be like kind of on your new vibe. And so you're not looking for perfection. Your soul family doesn't necessarily mean it's a whole bunch of other people that are like woke and spiritual. Like for me, I've connected with soul family since I'm now out of my dark night of the soul, and I've made friends with all different types of people with different beliefs and from different backgrounds and situations. And what these people all have in common is that they really feed my soul. I resonate with them, and it's not about perfection. You're always gonna sometimes have disagreements and stuff and conflict in relationships. That's inevitable, but the difference is it's not like toxic. These people aren't dragging you down. They aren't questioning you. You're not having to constantly explain yourself and defend yourself to these people. It's just a new vibe. So these are people that you can hang out with, that can be your friends, that will be your support system, that you can make new memories with. And this is something that will naturally happen as you come out of your dark night of the soul. You will start connecting with soul family because your vibe has risen, you've changed, and so what you're going to attract is going to be different, and it's going to be awesome. So the next thing, how to get out of dark night of the soul, or what naturally happens as you get out of this process. Connect with your talents and gifts and cultivate new skills. So you've changed once again. What you want in life has probably changed, and you might find yourself a little confused about like, what am I good at? What do I want to spend my time doing? And so this is a really great point, or a great place in the cycle to start experimenting and exploring. I personally started painting. I started getting more into makeup. You guys know I started a YouTube channel, started speaking and started expressing myself more. I got back into writing. There's just so many things I had the courage and the confidence to try, because all of a sudden I had all of this space in my life. I had let go of all the things that no longer serve me, and so there was this void, there was this space that needed to be filled. And there's also that slight loss of identity with spiritual awakening, and so naturally you're gonna wanna like find yourself again and figure out who you are, what makes you tick, what's fun for you, what hobbies do you want to engage in, how do you want to spend your time. And sometimes these talents and gifts can also lead to a new career path. And so taking classes, learning new skills, exploring different artistic mediums could be something really fun for you and help you through this process. So the next point, how to get out of dark night of the soul, what tends to happen next naturally, create your reality. So that's the main thing I think spiritual awakening really wakes people up to. That's why it's really hard, because you start realizing no one else is in control of my life but me. I created this. And look, those of you guys who unfortunately were abused or had some kind of crazy contrast or loss, I'm not saying you created that. I always want to make that clear, okay? But there's other things in your life you could have created or chosen and you weren't aware of it. You just thought, oh, this is my situation, this is my circumstance. And the dark night of the soul really wakes you up to the fact that, like, if you want something different, you have to choose it, you have to create it, you have to envision it, you have to make it happen. And so naturally, as you move out of dark night of the soul, you are going to actually feel really excited that you create your reality and you start to realize what is possible. A lot of you guys might be connected with the law of attraction or start working with the law of attraction and start manifesting things. That's what you end up doing ultimately. You don't have to know about the law of attraction or believe in it for it to work or for you to manifest. Manifestation is just like coming up with an idea and making it happen. That people do it every day. And so, but those of you guys who become really conscious of that start to have fun with it. And as part of that, making a vision board could really help you at this point so that you could find more clarity on what it is that you want to create. You guys know I talk about this so much on the channel. I know I'm a broken record, but if you're confused and you know you're out of your dark night of the soul and you're like, what now? Well, it's time for you to create your amazing life. So make a vision board and start taking action. And the final point, how to move out of dark night of the soul, or what kind of naturally tends to happen as you move out of it. Develop a spiritual practice. This is going to help you to stay connected with your truth. So this is very personal for everyone. I always try to make it clear on this channel that I'm not trying to make you guys believe in something. This isn't like a religion, Rainbow Harmony. This isn't a cult or anything. It's not like that. I want to empower you guys to create your reality and to trust yourself and your intuition and believe whatever it is that you want to believe. So a spiritual practice, some people are going to feel like very spiritual about it and maybe pray or make an altar, or maybe you figure out like what religion you are or what it is you believe in, and maybe you pray to a specific deity or you connect with your ancestors, your spirit guides or angels or whatever. The whole point is to keep that part of your practice, keep that as part of your life. Some of you guys like don't come to that, and that's fine. You just connect with your truth on a daily basis, whether that's just a moment in the morning to meditate, be with yourself, or journaling, expressing yourself, or it's actually prayer, or like I said, making an altar, something like that, or following the moon cycle, or maybe something like doing paganism and following the wheel of the year and the different holidays. It's really up to you, but that's something that will really help you to stay focused and remind yourself that like you are living in your new world now, your new reality that you've created for yourself, and it can help you like stay connected with your truth. So what can you guys expect after going through your dark night of the soul and going after spiritual awakening? What is it like? Well, from my experience, I am definitely on the other side of my dark night of the soul and my Saturn return. And life, honestly, is absolutely amazing. I have new tools now for how to handle the ups and downs of life. My perception is so different, so I'm able to handle the contrast in life a lot better. And I'm starting to see like the fruits of my labor with all of the vision boards I've created. I've been able to see like a lot of my manifestations through, and I'm loving my life. Like, I'm seriously happy and loving my life. However, I still get really, really depressed sometimes. I still have struggles. No, it did not cure my mental illnesses. I've been really open on this channel about how I have CPTSD, anxiety, depression, and ADHD. And no, meditation and being spiritual is not going to cure that. It's not, you can't just wish it away, or, you know, the whole you can heal your life thing where, oh, that's coming from an emotional root, and if you just meditate and focus on that and heal it, it's going to get better. That's all cool, and that does kind of work, but there's some things sometimes you just got to deal with sometimes for life. And so, you know, it's not a delusional thing. I'm not one of those people who really thinks like that my perception is gonna completely just obliterate my ADHD or my CPTSD. So I have very real things that I have to deal with, like I'm sure all of you guys do. But after spiritual awakening, it's definitely gotten a little bit easier. And I have these tools I can rely on, and I feel like I know myself a lot better. And I'm just really excited for the future and where it's gonna take me. And that's what I'm really excited for you about as you go through spiritual awakening or dark night of the soul. Just know that it's going to get better. Hang in there. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching the Spiritual Awakening series. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Share your stories about it. And if you have any questions about spiritual awakening, let me know in the comments below, because I think I'm going to make a couple more videos as part of this series to answer any questions you guys have about it. I'll do my best to answer. Of course, the answers will probably be based like on my perspective, but I'll do my best to see if I can get you guys some answers on any of your pressing questions about spiritual awakening. And I will see you guys next time. Peace out.